Hello, this is Lucas, and in this video we will discuss how to use tables in HTML. So we can get started very quickly. So the first thing that we need to create ourselves is an actual table. So we'll just write table, and once again we'll open it and then we'll close it. Now we need to create ourselves rows that our data will go in. So we'll do TR, which stands just for table row. Now everything inside of here will be in one row. So we can add ourselves, firstly we can add ourselves some headers. So we just write TH. And now this is the header that we are going to add inside of here. So I'm going to create ourselves, let's create ourselves 3 of these. So we're going to have 3 headers. And then we can just write person 1, person 2, and then we'll write person 3. So this is just a header of the row. So if we go to our web page, you can see we just get ourselves person 1, 2, and person 3. But now we need to actually add some data in here. But you can see firstly that everything inside of these table rows, they're going to be just on one row. So if we go back, you can see everything is on one row. But now we can actually add stuff on the second row and then the third row and so on. So for that, we will need to create ourselves a new row. So we just do TR. This will just create ourselves a new row. Now we can actually start adding data in. And to add data in, we just do TD, and I'll just add in some data. Then we can just copy and paste this 3 times. And then we can just pass in a few names. So we'll just pass in, for example, John. We'll pass in Peter, and then we'll pass in Alan. We have ourselves 3 names. If we go back to our page, we refresh this, you can see we get John, Peter, and Alan under the header that was provided. So person 1, his name is John. You can see, so this is the first row. Alright, but this is the first column, and then this will be under the first column. And this is the second column, this will be under the second column, and so on. Now we can add ourselves another row, so we'll just do TR again. And we'll add in 3 more, but this one we'll just specify like their age, I'll say. So we'll say John is 20, we'll say Peter is 25, then we'll just say Alan is 28 or 18. And if we go back to our page, we refresh this, you can see that all their data is displayed under the header person 1, and all the data under person 2 is displayed underneath that. So that's how we can add tables. Now this doesn't look the best as a table, so we can use a bit of CSS. Now we haven't looked at CSS yet, but we can quickly look over it. CSS is just a way to style your web page. So inside of the head, we can create ourselves a little section for style. So once again, we open and close it. Now everything inside of here is going to be our CSS. So we can specify what we want to change. So for example, I want to add a border over table. I want to add a border over, let's see, we'll add another one over, not over the table row, but we will add a border around the header and around the data. So firstly, we can just add around the table for now. So we'll just specify what we want to add in. So we'll do table. Alright, now everything inside of anything that is a table, for example, so this is a table, we will modify it. So we can add a border. So we'll just do border. We will specify the size of our border. So let's say we'll do 1 pixel for now. And then we want it to be a solid. We can have other ones like dashed and so on, but we'll just do solid, and then we'll specify the color that we want. So we'll just do black. And all this will do is it will add a border around our table here. It'll be the depth of the border that we add is just going to be 1 pixel. It's going to be a solid border, and the color of it is going to be black. So if we go back now to our web page, refresh this, and now you can see we have a nice border around our table. Now we can actually divide up all our data with a few borders. I think that'll look a bit better. So inside of table, let's add in, we want to add our headers and our data. We don't want to add our rows around the border, just the data and the header. So we can specify th and tr, because the header is th and tr. Sorry, not tr. It's td for the data. We don't want to add a border around our row. So just we'll add a border around the header and the data, and of course we already did the table. So if we save this, we go back here. When I refresh this, we already have the border around our table, but now we added more borders around every single piece of data and every single piece of header. So if we refresh this, you can see we have ourselves another border around every single piece of header and data. Now we can make this look a little bit better, not by a lot. So we have our style, our CSS in here inside of our head. We can have an external file that we can put all our CSS in. We can have it here, or we can actually have it where we specify or where we declare the actual names for everything. So we have our th here. Let's say we want to add ourselves some CSS. So we do style again, just like we did here. Then we'll do equal, and then we'll do quotes here, double quotes. Now, everything inside of here will act as the CSS that we wrote in here. So we can specify, for example, we can specify the width of this header. So if I go width, then let's give us something like, we'll do 100 pixels. Now I'm not going to do the same changes for these two, just because we want to see the difference. Now if we refresh this, you can see how everything is it's just at the border of here, but we want to add some spacing. So if I refresh this, you can see that we have a bit of width now. We have some space here at the start and at the end, but you can see we didn't add this the CSS for these headers, so that's why they're still jumbled up beside the borders. And you can see the amount of space that we have now here. It just looks way better. We can add the exact same thing for all the other ones. I'll just copy this. Make sure you add a space here. There you go. Now if you go back to our page, you can see we also added now the space in for these other two headers. So that's just a way just to make your table look a bit better. We can do the exact same thing for here. We can modify this in a lot of different ways with CSS, but CSS is going to be for another video. So for now, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.